Yo guys, Mal Gaming. Do like a vlog slash a conversation with you guys today. Something Carl and I feel very strongly about. Would you like to say hello, Carl?
Right, guys. Yeah,
Today we're gonna, yeah,
you first. One of us.
we're gonna talk about Team of the Year, UEFA Team of the Year. Carl and I are fed up of seeing the same old sort of players, isn't it?
Yeah, if you look on the screen now, we've got this team here. We've got Neuer. We see him in every time, but we can't agree. Neuer's
I can agree with Neuer. Yes, I'll agree with that one definitely.
now the next two. We've got Ramos, Silva. Opinions on
Now
that?
I don't personally, right? Silver. No, not for me. Just because he plays for PSG, he's in it every year. Just because people want pace, he's not the best defender in the world. Nowhere near. For me, and Ramos, he's a liability at times. Real Madrid leak about 100 goals a game, or they've been on a losing run, and that's something to do with the defensive side of things. I feel very strongly about this sort of thing, and I'd probably replace them with someone like a Jerome Boateng. I mean, what a player he's been.
Bayern Munich have been
And
very strong this season.
Boateng is the
Last
best
year,
defender in the world by a mile. He is ridiculous. He's so underrated. I love Boateng. He's got strength, power, pace. He can shoot. It's technically amazing. I don't see why he's not in there. I don't get it.
Anyone else that you would rather have instead of Thiago Silva, Ramos? Then?
Okay, so to replace Thiago Silva,
Yeah.
it's a tricky one. There are defenders. I think PK had a bloody good season, to be honest. He won the Champions League and the treble. How's he not got in there?
Very true.
What did Thiago Silva win? Maybe the French league, but they win that every year. I know Barcelona win their league every year, but they won the treble. That's ridiculous. I just think someone like that could have got in. Why Thiago Silva? I don't. It doesn't.
Rafa, you better be listening to this because this is what.
It just pisses me off. I just think someone. I think I would have gone for PK. He's bloody good player. Man United missed out on him. He didn't work out at United. He worked out at Barcelona. What a player! Technically unbelievable. Good in the air. He's better than Thiago Silva. He's won more. He won the Champions League, the Spanish Cup, and the La Liga. I mean, how the hell can he not be in it?
Right, now for your left back and right back, we've got Marcelo and Dani Alves.
Right. Well, personally, I think it's bollocks that Marcelo's in there. That's my opinion. Have Real Madrid been doing well? No, obviously not, because Benitez has been zapped, Ancelotti's been zapped, and now Zidane's in.
But remember, this is last year. This is from last year, not this year.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't do well last year, did they? What did they win last year?
Nothing.
Exactly. So I'd like to see. I think Jordi Alba had a good season. I wouldn't go for him.
I'm very surprised. No Bayern Munich players on there. Bearing in mind the season.
Go for David Alaba. I mean, the best left back in the world, in my opinion. I mean, the pace, the strength. He is unreal. He's had about 4 informs this year already. And last year, it just baffles me how you make for choose. I know it's a voting system, but why Marcelo? Just because he's got like a cool haircut. Alba's 10 times better than him. Bayern Munich are 10 times better. There's no contest there.
And then for Alves.
Dani Alves is a controversial one.
He's on and off throughout the season.
His best years were a couple of years ago. He's a bit faded out of form here. There's not many right backs who are better than him. I'm quite stuck on this one for a right back.
Very true. To be honest with you, I think he deserves a place in a way.
I think I'll agree with Alves.
Yeah, I'd rather keep him there, but like you've got some people that, but if he's in next year, then we've got some problems.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Like he should be in there this year. Yeah, they did win the treble. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But the other 3, no, I will not agree with.
So there's your opinions. There's our opinions for the defence. 3 changes just from that UEFA, just because.
You don't have to agree with me, guys, but stats-wise, Boateng and compared to Silva, there's no competition. Ramos, just because you call Sergio Ramos and he's been good for several years. In my opinion, when they won the Champions League, he was great, but other than that, he really did lack. He wasn't as good as he was 5 or 6 years ago. You know what I mean? I just think he's quite overrated. His fame gets to his head, and I don't think he plays with enough passion for me. I just think he's a bit lackadaisical. He's a bit lacklustre. You know, I wouldn't want him in my side. You know,
Right.
he doesn't have the heart for me.
Right. Now for midfielders. Now this is the big controversy. This is where we're going to start off with the one I know you don't want, and that's Modric.
Right.
That is Modric. I know you don't want him in there, and I don't think he deserves this.
Alright, I'm a Spurs fan, I'll admit that. I used to love Luka Modric. I mean, he turned out to be a right knob, but that's not the point, okay? He went about the transfer the wrong way, but that's another story. I will not agree with Modric, no. I mean, that is a joke. That's like me voting for Heskey. What has Modric done? Nothing. He was injured quite a lot throughout the season, and he didn't score many, he didn't assist that many. You know, it's just an absolute joke. Modric, he didn't win anything, you know. I'll tell you a player I was very impressed with this year. And I think the boy who signed for Barcelona, the new boy, he came from Seville, and that was Ivan Rakitic.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is very true. Why is no Rakitic
I mean,
in there?
unbelievable. I
I'm
thought Fabregas could have got in there. Look, you know, this year as well because he had a bloody.
He had a bloody good last year.
You know, I'm surprised no Chelsea players got in there. To be honest, they won the league, like the hardest league in the world.
They're practically.
They didn't just win it; they won it with ease. You know, there's several candidates. So I just
who would you put in there? Who would
Rakitic had a 10 times better season?
Who would be your main man to put in centre mid then?
Well, I mean, it's a tricky one. You know, you got the likes of Xabi Alonso. You got the likes of Toni Kroos. You probably did better than Modric, to be honest.
But who would be that one player you would replace Modric with if there was an opportunity?
One player.
Remember, you still got 2 more to go through, so you could.
You know, I'm going to go with my heart and think what the player I've seen of him, and he considering he just moved there and he had a hell of a season. I've got to go for Ivan Rakitic. He won them the champion. As soon as he got there, they won the champion.
Very true, very true.
So I'm going Barcelona again. I'm going for Rakitic. I think, you know, he was unreal. I mean, another player who could have got in there was someone like Mario Götze. He won the World Cup. He scored the winning goal. Maybe that's not deserved for a team in because he has boiled down and he doesn't work with Pep Guardiola as well. I mean, another player you could have had. You know, I'm surprised Philipp Lahm's not in there. And that really does back.
He's an out-to-out player.
Philipp Lahm is one of the best footballers in the world. He can play right back. He can play CDM. He can play centre mid. He can play right mid. He can play striker. You know, he can play anywhere if the coach asks him. Pep Guardiola said last year he's the best player he's ever coached. What does that tell you? The man's a workhorse. He's popular. You know, he's got a good attitude, and that's what a footballer should be. He's not.
Why do people vote for him? That's the only problem. Why Modric? People, please tweet Matt, tweet me. Tell us why. Why?
It does baffle me, and footballers vote for it. Why Modric? Why? Why not? What's the difference between him and Rakitic? Rakitic scored more. He probably assisted more. He won the Champions League. What did Modric win? They didn't win anything. They haven't won anything in 2 years.
Right.
It's just because Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world. Well, it's bollocks, if you ask me.
Right. Next person, Paul Pogba.
100% well deserved. What a player for 22 years of age. I mean, the goals he scored, the assists, the audacity, his flicks, his tricks. He's a machine. He's a powerhouse. He's the new Yaya. He is phenomenal.
Man United, you are very unlucky.
Yeah,
you shouldn't have sold him.
No, not unlucky. They're just idiots.
Yeah, Jesus.
What does that tell you about the club? You know, they just force people out. They can't. They don't concentrate on the academy. They concentrate on buying big players. And it doesn't work out. Look at Marshall, 50 million. Come on.
Right.
You know, Pogba all the way. I would agree with that.
Any possible candidates? Any possible candidates could probably replace Pogba if that wasn't the case. Who do you think that's done well this year with CM in that position?
You know, I mean, I could say Lahm again. I could say Andrea Pirlo. What a player. He was at Juventus for, I don't know, 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
He's been a loyal servant. He's been at AC Milan. He's been at Juventus. You know, he's in America now, but that's the end of his career. What a player. You know, they got to the Champions League final. No one predicted that. No one. I mean, also, going back to the centre-backs, which I did forget, you could have had Giorgio Chiellini. That's who I'd probably replace. I'd have Jerome Boateng and I'd have Giorgio Chiellini. That's who I'd have, personally. You know, Chiellini got to the Champions League final with Juventus. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Just brilliant. And then, you know, I to replace Paul Pogba, I can't think of many. You know, it's either Philip Lahm or... This is a tricky one. So it's either Philip Lahm, and I just can't think of the bloke I was just thinking of. Did I say him?
You had Pirlo.
That was it, Andrea Pirlo. I mean, what a player he could have. So it could have been them two, but I think it was well deserved, and it deserved to go to Pogba. I mean, for his age, that kid is world class.
Right.
What?
Now, this man, I think, still keeps it because he's a legend, and that'll be Iniesta.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
The player, if in my eyes, the best midfielder in the world. Technically brilliant. He's strong. He's got the skill. He can finish. You know, he tracks back when he wants to, when he can. He's been a loyal servant at Barcelona. He's been there all his life through Kid Academy. He hasn't gone to the big money. He's just gone, no, I'm staying at Barcelona. And I respect that. What a player. At the end of the conversation, he stays.
Right. Now, for the up front. We're going to start with the one that's in the middle, and that'll be Neymar.
Right, well, you know, he's had a hell of a season this season, you know what I mean? Like last season, not as much.
It was a bit quiet,
It was a bit quiet last season. I think this season's boosted it. I mean, what's the player? He's going to be the future number one of football. I think it's going to be between him, Bale and Hazard, personally. I mean, very good player, but, you know, why aren't these Premier League boys getting in? What about Hazard last season? You know, he won Chelsea.
Hazard, I don't know.
Won the Premier League, for God's sake. He was phenomenal. I don't know, was it like 16 goals from left wing? What a player. You know, he got kicked about every week. He got back up, rolled his... I don't like Chelsea, but Hazard, what a player. Brilliant. You know, it could have been him. Neymar. Who, you know, why hasn't Suarez got it? If anything, he had a better season than Neymar. He's having a hell of a season this season as well. He could be in the middle. Why does it have to be Neymar? This is what I'm questioning, right? You know, you could have had Lewandowski, mate. I mean, what a player. He has been phenomenal.
3 Guinness World Records, if I'm correct.
Yep, he got record breaking. He got 5 goals in a game in, like, what was it, under 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Could have been any of these, right? You know?
Personally, I would have Lewandowski up there.
No, I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to go with I think he's deserved it. He's pulled out his socks, you know. He struggled the first season. He really has got on. You know, when Messi was out, him and Suarez were running the show.
Right.
So and my next backup would have been Suarez, just because the guy's an animal, but he's phenomenal.
I would have Lewandowski. I've played him with FIFA, but other than that, the way he plays, he's...
Don't get me wrong, he's a phenomenal player. But he's not. I don't think he's near Suarez.
It's a 50-50.
He's a 50-50, but last season he wasn't great either, Lewandowski. Neymar stepped up a bit more than him.
Lewandowski... but I still like Lewandowski. The way he has played last year. When he started coming out those goals, he just bangs them in now.
But I think
he's fine working.
I think it has to go to Neymar. I mean, what a player. You know, he's only 22, 21, 22. What a player.
Right, now left wing.
Phenomenal.
Left wing.
Well, we all know it is. It's what's his name? Oh. Is it Ronaldo? Any chance?
Don't know. No, it's Ron. I think it's just Ron and then Ronaldo.
Guy. Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, so Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, guys, we must be around. You know, no debate. What a player! Strength, pace, power. He can head. He can dribble. He can take any man on the line, right? It's just his attitude that lets him down at times, I think.
He gets very pissy.
Not going his way. I'm very selfish.
He gets very lazy as well if he's not going his own way.
He gets quite angry at times as well. He's not a team player. He's very selfish. He's a one-man wrecking ball / man team. But he's thoroughly deserved it. What a season he had. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the stats on here. You just can't argue with the bloke. Look. I mean, I'll just show you that. I'll get the stats up now. I mean,
if you can get them up now.
He's not having the best time of it as well because he doesn't get on with Benitez. But I reckon under Zidane he could really flourish.
Well, since Zidane's been taken over by Thingy, then taken over Real Madrid, they've actually bolstered a bit. You know, if you saw that, Bell got a hat trick. Like, where does that come from? You don't see that any day coming out of a game, do you?
No, both kicked on definitely. But yeah, I'm just gonna look at Ronaldo's stats now, and they are just unbelievably good. Okay, so his career started in 2002, right? He only got 5 goals. Okay, that's sporting. 2003, he got 1. 2004, he got 14. 2005, he got 15. 2006, he got 24. 2007, he hit another 10, which was 34. 2008, 35. 2009, 30. 2010, 48. 2011, 60. 2012, 63. 2013, 69. 2014, 61. Okay? So now we go on to it's the 2015. So he scored 57 goals this year. Now that is a hell of a...
Ridiculous.
He basically carried the whole team on his own. What a player. Unbelievable.
I couldn't argue with him.
I'm not going to argue with anything. Ronaldo deserved to be in there, left wing, 100%.
Right, and of course, the man himself, the best player in the world now, the now renowned best player in Spain. Congratulations as well.
Yeah, congratulations, Ballon d'Or. Well deserved. You know, he had to get it. What a player!
You couldn't blame him for his stats.
The best player to ever grace the football earth. He's better than Maradona. He's better than Pele.
He's an animal. He's an animal.
Not even 30. He's younger than Ronaldo. He is. He's magical, Messi. There's just no other way.
It's just a wizard. The wizard. That's how I know. He's just a wizard.
I mean, it's magic Messi. I don't get it.
The mic glow just skips past players like they're nothing.
Taking about 6 men. His free kicks have got so much better.
So much better.
He's just
He's the most valuable player Barcelona have ever had. And all those bollocks, those transfer rumours, there's no way he's going to leave that club after his...
I saw Sky Sports, he said he rubbishes talk with Man City and all that. So at the end of it, guys, he came out and said he's staying at Barcelona.
Well, of course, because what do you expect? His family, Barcelona practically bought his family over and looked after them until he got big enough.
Yeah. Right, so considering he was injured, right? So far this season, as of the 9th of January, he scored 18 goals, 7 assists. I mean, phenomenal. Just ridiculous.
So, to wrap this up...
You know, we're not going to wrap it up. Well, I'm going to... You know, I could say some other players I forgot. You know, Benzema could have had a shout getting striker, as well as Lewandowski, if you bring that in. Now, what we're...
Hazard, what we want is UEFA.
No, what we haven't talked about is this bullshit about why is there no Premier League players? What is this? Is this like a conspiracy? Why aren't they being chosen? You know, I'm a Spurs fan, but I think anyone could not agree that if there was a bench, I think Harry Kane deserves to be on it.
I'm an Arsenal supporter. What do you expect? I think he's played well.
Scored 31 goals in a season. He's only 21. He came through the academy and no one heard of him. If I told you 2 years ago Harry Kane, you'd be like, who the hell's he? You know? He's got a great attitude, an engine. He plays every game for Spurs. He is a machine. You know, if there was a bench, he has to be on there. He just has to be. You know, he scored 50 goals the other day. He's only had 2 seasons.
No, you know, what about your Yaya Toure? Where's that? Where's your Aguero?
Yeah, I agree with Yaya. I didn't think he had a great season last season, to be honest. I think Aguero, yes. You know, he did well, but he keeps getting injured. That's his problem. He just can't stay fit. Another player I'd probably have for I'd have Sanchez. You know, what a player. He was
for Barcelona, and he's done well for us. I'm an Arsenal supporter, and I love it.
It was a great move.
well needed, to be honest with you. After
I think if Ozil had the season he's had in like this season, I would have put him in my midfielders.
I reckon he should be up for. I reckon he should be up for next year's team. If he carries on like this, I reckon he should be next year's team.
Oh, he's phenomenal, mate. Unbelievable talent. He can just pass the ball like anywhere.
Yeah, since he's picked up now, he's been.
He just doesn't even look. It's crazy. But yeah, like I said, there's so many players you could have. There are a few I'd have. But why aren't there any Premier League players in there?
Why don't you guys support the Premier League players?
Everyone calls it the best league in the world. If it is the best league in the world, then why aren't any of them in the team of the year? This is the debate I want to get out to the YouTube world, and I want to take it to UEFA and say, you are a scam. You are a joke, alright? How can you just choose Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid? Real Madrid did bugger all last season. Okay?
True.
Look, they did about as good as Spurs. They didn't win a trophy and neither did Spurs, alright? So what's the difference? Just because they got Ronaldo? Yes, deserves it, alright? Ramos? No. Not in a million years. Boateng, Chiellini for me. Thiago Silva? No. And where's Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Scores goals.
Man himself scores them ridiculous.
Where is it?
Goals.
And not easy goals like scorpion kicks and all that. He's a phenomenal player. And I saw the voting from the other night, and Ibrahimovic didn't even vote for Ronaldo. He voted for Messi. I mean, that tells you something.
He knows who's the best player in the world.
It's very frustrating. I'd like to get this to UEFA. I don't think anyone's done a vlog about this as of yet, so I want to get it out there. Why aren't these players getting in?
Why is
wrong with the
Premier League? Yeah, what is wrong with the Premier League?
So bad. How comes all the big dogs, want to come over and play in the English league? And if that's the case, and we're the best league, then why aren't we in Team of the Year? Why not? Why isn't just one or two? I mean, I don't think there has been ever one. I'm pretty sure there's never been one.
No, there hasn't actually.
It's just a joke, and someone needs to address this because.
Terry Henry must have been.
There's a lot of bias going on here. I don't reckon any English people. I don't reckon there's any UEFA people that are English. I reckon they're all the Spanish, the French. Otherwise,
Terry Henry got Team of the Year actually. Remember, he won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but that was FIFA like 2004. They didn't even have online then. How can I Team of the Year? See, this is what I've put up with, guys. Right? He got an MLS one, to be honest, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Team of the Year. But it really does.
It bothers us.
Pisses me off. It really does. I want to get it out there.
If anyone can get this UEFA, push it to him. Just go on. This voting system needs to change.
This guy, Matt, I can go down there and I'll kick some arse, alright? Because someone needs to do something here because it is a joke. Alright? But guys, that is the end of the vlog. I know it's been a bit long. Share it around. Let's get this trending. Let's take this to UEFA and say, why isn't it? Why isn't it?
What hashtag what are we going to create then? What hashtag are you going to put as? We really want to trend this.
Hashtag UEFA sucks. There you go.
There you go, guys. If you want to...
Worldwide, when this video goes up, or soon, alright? Share the video, it's got to be worth a subscribe. We can do more vlogs like this, controversy.
If you want to discuss the Team of the Weeks, if you want to discuss Team of the Week.
We can talk about that. But Carl knows I'm a footballing god, or like a geek. I know everything there is to know about the modern day football. I can talk about it all bloody day. I could sit here all day, okay? I'm not going to, but if you'd like to see more of these sort of future videos, and you'd like to see more FIFA videos and more sort of the footballing side of things, I'll be doing that. We'll be playing COD as well, stuff like that. But if you want to see more vlogs and, more things to do with UEFA and things like that, and
tell us, we're happy.
Which they're very controversial, then like the video, please subscribe, share it out. This is Mile Gaming. Carl, would you like to say bye?
See you later, guys. Have fun with the rest of your evening, and let's hope this year's team of the season is going to be much better than Team of the Week.
So, let's get this trending worldwide. Hashtag UEFA sucks.
Definitely.
And let's get these bastards, and let's show them that Twitter can show them up, okay? Please like, subscribe, like the video. Give me some comments in the thing if you agree with me. Okay, that's who you think should be in there maybe. I can listen to them and we can talk about it. Follow me and Carl on Twitter. All that good jazz, all that. And that's the end of the video, guys. So peace and see ya.
See you later, guys.